Hey guys, welcome to the Canada Puck Podcast, your weekly recap of what's going on in the world of sports, specifically hockey, and specifically in Canada. I'm your co-host Mick. You can find me on Twitter at ProfitMick. I retweet a lot of funny GIFs that I think are funny. Maybe other people don't appreciate it. I'm joined every episode by my lovely and talented co-host.
Are we doing Suck It today, man?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, Grant at Fourth Line Sports. I gotta get through two things here. One, I am so happy to hear that you pronounce GIF properly, because there's a lot of dumb people out there. Two, I am a little drunk still, so I apologize if my B+ analysis, you know what, my C- analysis is downgraded a little bit this week too. I don't know. What's below C? E?
Pass fail? I think we're at pass fail today with Mr. Grant White. So he showed up today, so he passes. Good job.
Yay.
Well, he still might fail. We're not sure.
You know what? And this is the world that kids grow up in nowadays. Oh man, this is gonna sound like an old man rant, but especially like imagine kids in university these days when it was just pass fail. Like you and I, we purposely selected classes where like D's weren't an option. There was literally a class we took where the guy's like, "You're gonna at least get a C." We're like, "All right, we can do this class."
Mm-hmm.
But nowadays, kids are like, you know what? COVID sucks. We know that's hard for everybody. You can either pass or fail. It's like, we would have done our degrees probably in like 6 or 7 years. Like, we would have made, I was done my degree in 6 and 7 years. If that was an option, I would have stretched it out a little longer. But anyways.
Yeah, smart. Well, you got to build up that GPA. You can go for your master's, right? And then work at customer service for TELUS. Sounds pretty exciting, right? That's a great career opportunity. I got a master's and everything. Guys, I can read papers.
And now you are a call center person.
Great. That sounds like you wasted your life.
But seriously, if somebody's listening to this, we love you. Don't jump.
It gets better. It gets better, guys. Just remember, marry for money. So...
Well, that's the best advice a guy can give.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So like those curls for girls, they may matter. They might matter at some point in your life. Yeah, we are side tangent. I'm not drunk. Heyo.
It's a little braggy, actually. Fuck you, Mick.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't drink last night, and I ate some Doritos. So that's what my night looked like. Hey.
What kind of Doritos, though? Important question.
Jalapeno and cheddar.
All right. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, they're not bad. They're not bad.
Zesty Morton, my go-to. Jalapeno cheddar is good, too.
Zesty Morton, I hate them because of the cheese dust that gets on your fingers, and they end up all over my couches. So I have to stop because, like, there's no proper way of me cleaning, or, like, the inside of my pant legs.
Okay, yeah. You know, I had this discussion in, actually, it was probably middle school. Socks. You just got to use your socks to wipe things off. Nobody's going to look at your socks, and if they do, like, imagine the idiot that looks at your socks and like, oh, this guy's a grease ball.
Yeah.
Like, get out of here.
Judgmental dick. Get out of here. So.
Yeah, exactly.
So there you go. So we got some friendly banter. If this is your first show, that's who we are as people. I don't know. I actually don't know what we accomplished there. So, yeah. But what we're going to do is run through some headlines, just kind of recap what's going on in the world with all the Canadian teams. There's actually some interest, some notes. I have things to say about some teams this week. That's pretty exciting. We got some fantasy advice, some gambling advice. We're going to look at some cards, maybe do some little trivia at the end of the show. And that's it. We're going to end the year strong. So I think last week we hinted that we may not actually be doing an episode today. Came around. We ended up doing it. It's pretty exciting. And we're probably still going to get like a drunk cast. So kind of looking forward to that. Grant is still drunk, but I will join him at that level. And we're just going to like just nonsense it, guys. We're just going to do some nonsense. But we're going to be serious now. Because we're talking about serious stuff. We're talking about serious stuff like the Montreal Canadiens being 31st in the league.
Oh, my God. Well, you know what? I don't think there's anything left to say about the Montreal Canadiens. They need Carey Price back. I don't know if he's ever coming back. Shea Weber, ditto. I know we talked about him retiring a little while ago, but I know we played this game a couple of years ago, and I want to do it again because I had a lot of fun doing it. Mick, I want to say you are the hypothetical general manager of the Montreal Canadiens. What is the first move you are making?
First move I'm going to make is the Montreal. You know what? I kind of feel like. What's it called? Montreal Canadiens cap friendly? Cap friendly. First move I'm making. I think I'm gonna have a sit down. First thing I'm doing is I'm having a sit down with my buddy Carey Price and just get a sense of where he's at. Right. I mean, he's got an unmovable contract. That's a terrible option. I don't know if trading him is an option. And kind of just get a feel for like where he feels like himself going, right? Where he visions himself, and kind of building around that. It's kind of my cornerstone. And writing it out. For the most part, I don't think I've got a lot of moving pieces, right? I'm going to sit on my young guys like the Caulfields, the Suzukis. I might just stay the course at this point because I feel like a top 3 pick is kind of what they're projected to get. Those are the kind of things you got to build around. And yeah, I'm probably not going to sign those bad contracts, say like the Mike Hoffmans of the world, the I can't think of his name. Andersons, the Toffoli's. Like, I'm probably not bringing those guys in at the, like, $4.5 million. Gonna try and suck for a little while. That's probably what I'm telling you guys. We're rebuilding, so hopefully you enjoyed your cup run. Idiots.
You dummies. Oh, God. You started in the right place, though. And you're absolutely correct. Like, if the Seattle Kraken didn't want Carey Price for free, nobody wants Carey Price.
Yeah.
What is it, $10.5 million? You got cap friendly open. Is it $10.5 million? It's up there.
For 5 more years.
5 more years. Oh, God. Well, I don't have anything to say about the Montreal Canadiens. I was hoping to find a silver lining when I did dig into them earlier in the week. Couldn't see anything. You're absolutely right. Top 3. Maybe you could do the we'll call it the New England Patriots, and that is move on from a key player, either Shea Weber or Carey Price, bring in a top piece to replace them, and then just do a complete 180. But otherwise, good luck, Montreal. C'est la vie. Yeah.
That's it. And I mean, like they're sitting there cap hit, what, $93 million. They've got projected $11 million on long-term injury reserve, and they still have no cap space. So I'm like, I'd probably change one of those things, right? Like,
But that's the thing. Like, right now, you can't even trade Carey Price because they're using that to get down to the cap area. So, yeah.
Yeah, and, like, it's not like they have a lot of pieces that you're going to move on from. Like, I mean, like, maybe Jonathan Drouin, right? But, like, I think his trade value is super low. Hoffman, no one is going to give you anything for him, right? Like, you look at these pieces, and I'm like, they're not moving. I guess defensively. They've actually got some decent defensive pieces, right, that we saw last year at some pretty reasonable cap numbers, right? So even like Jeff Petrie at $6.2 million compared to like the $10 million, $9 million some of those other guys are making for kind of like a higher end piece. Although 4 more years left of that. I don't know. 34 years old? Like, what are you thinking?
Yeah. How long's Joel Edmundson signed for?
Is he hurt? Yes. He's got 3 more years at 3.5. He's 28. So like that, yeah, that's probably a decent piece, right? So like kind of have to start looking at that. Yeah.
That's our most movable piece. I don't know why we're spending so much time talking about the Habs. I'm sorry I asked the question.
Yeah, and I don't think they're playing games. So I mean, I guess if we want to talk about like get real, if we wanted this as like a why you would ever come back and listen to this, I have no idea. Obviously, COVID is still a real problem. Games are being postponed. Teams literally haven't played. The Montreal Canadiens, I believe, games are just postponed at this point. Like they're not playing hockey.
You know what? The internet always has the questions. Canceled today. When are they next? Yeah. It looks like...
I don't think they're playing, and then I think the government announced that they're only doing their 50%. They're capping the attendance at the arenas to 50%. Going forward, I think it's gonna be one of those years that if you sucked and you got a top pick, probably not a terrible time because I don't know where it's going. So kind of play it as that and go from there. So.
The good news is, I guess, on that note, is that there'll be 50% less booing at the Bell Center over the next few weeks here.
Yeah, bad. Again, was it worth it? That's the question we keep asking you, Montreal Canadiens fans. Was it worth it? Moving up to 31st, or to 30th, sorry. My mistake, 31st. That's where the Montreal Canadiens are. But 30th is where the Ottawa Senators, the ragtag, the Road Dogs, Ottawa Senators play.
Oh man, another wrestling reference. I fucking love it. You know what chaps my ass? Our fantasy. Ottawa's got a terrible reputation for being a hockey team, and that is for the last few years they've sucked.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a great opportunity for guys like you and me to load up on Ottawa Senators to build our fantasy rosters around. That's not the case anymore. FanDuel is wise to how high the Ottawa Senators fantasy ceiling is, and that is you could get 8-goal performances against one of the best teams in the league, because that's the Ottawa Senators these days. So Drake Batherson, 7,100? No. Yeah. I'm a Drake Batherson, like 45-5 type guy.
Yeah.
That's who I am as a person.
Like, maybe good matchup feeling at 6, but like that extra $1,100, I can't do it. I just can't do it. And you're right, that's alluding to our future segment where I went to definitely load up on some Ottawa Senators today, and I was like, I can't just do my like splattering of Senators fans. They're friskies. They've caught up with us. Dang, man. Like we said, they had a couple good performances. They won. Did they win last week? I feel like somehow they screwed me over in my FanDuel lineup. We'll talk about that. They also put away the shellacking this week against the Avalanche. Was it 8-2?
Was it the Lightning they beat last week, and then it was Panthers on Monday or something? 8-2?
Well, maybe it was the Panthers 8-2. And I was just like, that's like, way to go, Florida. If people cared about hockey in Florida, that would definitely be one of those things where, like, maybe we should check the pulse on this team because something screwy is going on. Things settled out. They lost to the Lightning a couple days later. But I said it before, the Senators, I know they suck. They're down at the bottom there, but they are frisky. They have good young pieces, right? Defensively, goaltending, right? We've seen that. But, like, forward-wise, like, they're going to be a strong team, assuming that they all stick around and they don't get ran out of town by the owner. So
I gotta say something, and I hope this hurts Montreal Canadiens fans to the core. The Ottawa Senators is what the Canadiens aspire to be, because they don't get the production from their young players that the Ottawa gets. But anyways,
yeah. All right, so that's all we had to talk about Ottawa. I feel like for some reason I kind of want to say screw you, Matthew Tkachuk. I feel like he did something that upset me this week, screwed me over somehow. We'll get to it.
Brady Tkachuk?
Brady Tkachuk, yeah. And screw Matthew Tkachuk.
You know what? Yeah, fuck the Tkachuks.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? That's a good rhyme.
Fuck the Tkachuks. We have to jump up a little way. So they used to be a bottom feeder, but now they're up to 21st in the league. They got 30 points on the season. The Vancouver Canucks, I believe, winners of 7 straight under Boudreau.
Yeah, that's some shit there. And the crazy thing is that the betting market continues to undervalue this team. Maybe not tonight, but that's a story for a different time. The Vancouver Canucks have been absolutely lights out. Their metrics have improved. They're not immune to, coming out flat, and you saw that against, maybe it was Boston. I think it was Boston on this earlier in the week. But they still won, and that had a lot to do with Thatcher Demko. And that's my second point about the Canucks, is that they are thriving as a team, thanks in part to Thatcher Demko, who's become the goalie that they need him to be. I don't know what has changed under Boudreau. Well, the philosophy has changed under Boudreau, and that's reflected in the metrics. However, Thatcher Demko is the biggest beneficiary. I like where this team is headed. I'm so glad that they finally, how long have I... Since the start of the season, they finally took my advice and got rid of Travis Green, and like immediate dividends. And we're seeing how good the Canucks can be.
And just pulling up their scores here, so they beat the Kings. I feel like the Kings aren't very good. Boston, okay, great. Yeah, you squeak one out in overtime. Awesome, middle of the week. Beat the Winnipeg Jets. I don't know if you should write home about that. Carolina, that's a win. But Columbus, San Jose, I do feel like there was maybe some weaker teams in that, so maybe don't get too overhyped. Speaking of Travis Green, so Canucks winning coaches. List of head coaches. Is that what we want to see? I want like number of wins though. Can we sort by that? No, we can't sort by that. That's too bad. Boop. Boop. Why can't I sort by that? Travis Green's like something like 5th all time on like Vancouver Canucks wins or something like that. So,
that surprises me. Do they have one coach for like 30 years that just like is skewing the numbers? How does Travis Green, who had one winning season in Vancouver, have the fifth most wins?
Second. He is second.
Second most wins?
Oh wait, no. Oh wait, hold on. Let's sort this. Yeah, sorry, 5th. I was right, but with 5th. So Alain Vigneault. Okay, he had the Sedins there for a while. 313. Mark Crawford at 246. So I believe, was he before? Yeah, he must have been like right before. Harry Neely. He was kind of in the 70s, 80s, 142. Pat Quinn in the 90s had 141, and Travis Green with 133. So there you go. So you want to see a tortured fan base, just like a abysmal history. Travis Green is the 5th all-time winning head coach.
I gotta ask, because I think Roger Nielsen was there, was he not? Is he?
He was from 82 to 84, and he got 51 wins.
Okay, well, that explains it.
Yeah.
Like Roger Nielsen, one of the greatest coaching minds. Like literally, rules have been invented because Roger Nielsen likes to fucking shizel. Roger Nielsen's a guy, God bless his soul. He would have been a fun guy to have a beer in a bar with, I imagine. But if Roger Nielsen has 52 wins, like, and Travis Green is better, I'm gonna throw all this out the window. I'm going to take your computer and I'm gonna fuck it. I'm metaphorically throwing your computer out the window right now, Mick. It's gone.
How am I even on the internet? Well, so Bruce Boudreau's been there for 6 games, and he's already 19th out of 20th in terms of head coaches. So suck it, Bill LaForge.
Oh, there were some lean years in Vancouver.
Yeah, in 1985, he took over, had 20 games, won 4. So Bill LaForge, we salute you.
Is he with the Oilers now? Where's Bill LaForge?
He was there. 1984. Bill LaForge didn't really do much. He apparently coached those 20 games and moved on. So, all right. Well, oh no, I shouldn't have closed that page. Come here, NHL.com.
Okay, you gotta listen to this, Mick. Bill LaForge's Wikipedia page. Bill LaForge was a Canadian ice hockey coach. LaForge briefly coached the Vancouver Canucks in National Hockey League, but enjoyed more success in junior ice hockey. Like, if that's not the shadiest Wikipedia page, I don't know what is. Like, he did this, but he was good at other stuff.
He's good at other stuff, too, so. Speaking of coaches, we can, unless you want to move on from, I don't know, Vancouver. Again, maybe they were below their metrics. They've got a voice. I think things will level off before them winning the rest of the season. So if we have to jump up, though, to 17th overall, we see the ever perpetual in the middle of the pack Winnipeg Jets, and had a bit of a bombshell this week in Winnipeg.
Oh man, I feel like what's the bombshell? What am my brain's not working.
Paul Maurice stepped down. He walked away from the team. He resigned as coach. You had no idea? I'm breaking news to you.
Oh man, breaking news on the Canada Puck podcast.
Yeah. Paul Maurice decided that he's like, I think the guys need a different voice. My voice is just kind of on the winds right now. And he walked away. So Paul Maurice, I don't think he's going to be able to work for very long. I don't think it was his reason, that they weren't able to get over the hump. I mean, he's not playing with full toolbox right now, right? Like we talked about for a while, they've kind of just slowly depleted from this kind of powerhouse, this juggernaut that they were a couple years ago. Yeah,
I have man, I'm going through a whole bunch of emotions in a short amount of time. First off, I have a ton of respect for Paul Maurice. To recognize that this is not working, the Vancouver Canucks for 2 years failed to recognize that it wasn't working. Paul Maurice in a short amount of time, because the Jets have been moderately successful, but more importantly, their metrics were actually really strong. And obviously they were kind of in and out with output, and by that I mean it was kind of up and down. Paul Maurice recognized that his voice wasn't carrying, like he wasn't getting the most out of this team because there was a disconnect between expected values and what was actually happening. And he was just like, you know what, I'm going to take a step aside and let the Jets sort this out on their own. such a great move. This guy saves space because he can point to everything that he's done in Winnipeg. He can point to his metrics this season and say, "Guess what? I know what I'm talking about because it's reflected in our values, and by that I mean expected values." And 3, he avoids the plunge. Like, if you fucking ride your ship all the way down, your value as a head coach in this league plummets. Like, I think this is, I don't want to say it's a great move on Paul Maurice's part, but I think it was a very calculated move, and I think that he will be better in the long run because of it.
Yeah, and you're right. The long run is kind of the interesting play here, at least in my perspective. Is kind of like, where is he going next? And was it kind of that altruistic move of him just saying, like, I do think I just need to move on. My family can't survive another harsh winter in Winnipeg. Like, we have to get out of here. We have to head south, right? Maybe he knows something about the long-term forecast that we just don't know. Or is there some type of opportunity out there that he's like, I'd like to move on because of X, right? I'm seeing that this is short-term. I'm looking at this team in the future. I mean, really, the sky's the limit for the guy. I think he's going to have success wherever he goes. So
this all ties into last week's podcast. What you're alluding to is Paul Maurice is one of those, like, hollow earth inner lizards, and that is, he's like, he knows what's going on. He needs to go to he got to find himself some shelter. Oh my God, Paul Maurice is an alien.
Why didn't you tell us, Paul? We've said nothing nice things about you. We've been like fans of the Jets. I actually almost put a Jets jersey on in your honor today, but I care more about Spider-Man than you, so I put on a Spider-Man jersey. But like, let us know, maybe.
Yeah, you know what? We had nothing.
Slide into our DMs. Like, let us know. Should we be building bomb shelters?
You know what? Paul Maurice has a whole bunch of free time on his hands now. Maybe he'll join us for our year-end wrap-up. There's probably going to be a fake fireplace, Paul. You want to come have a beer and talk about sports? Have your agents call our agents.
We'll get drunk. That's the expression, right?
Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, we'll get drunk.
We'll get drunk. All right. So poor Winnipeg Jets. I don't know if they played hockey, but we don't have to go very far to talk about the next one. Oh my goodness, I was not expecting that. So from 17th, middle of the pack, right around the cusp of the playoffs, we have to go up to 15th to the Edmonton Oilers, who continue just to like chill. They're like, whatever. We were first once. I don't really care. Hockey.
Yeah, they're starting to come out of their correction. I was thinking that. I mentioned last week, I was like, they're going to get metrics working in their favor before they start to come out of it. They did get metrics working in their favor, and they're starting to come out of it. You saw that against the Jackets. And what impressed me most about the Jackets' victory, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl each had 1 point in a 5-point game. So that goes, or a 5-goal game, I should say. That goes to show you that this team got serious about their supporting cast, and it might be paying off. They shook things up a little bit. I think Zach Hyman fell down the depth chart a little bit. Zach Cassian moved up. William Fogle moved up. And I think that game that they did that was the Columbus game where they scored 5. So we're probably going to see more of the same. And that is, these lines are probably going to end up in a blender, and Dave Tippett will get the most out of the supporting. Dave Tippett needs to get the most of the supporting cast for Edmonton to have a shot at this.
Awesome. I did hear some rumor that my old friend, I don't know if he was ever a friend of the podcast, Babcock, apparently his name was being thrown around as a head coach potential candidate for the Oilers if they decided they wanted to move on. So Ken Holland has this kind of pulse, reached out to Babcock for his services. So good luck with that.
That kind of makes sense, though, does it not? They were.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they were connected in Detroit at some point.
I think so. So I don't know. It's, again, I don't know if coaching necessarily is the problem in Edmonton. So
where's Mike Babcock? Is he coaching at a university right now? I think it's U of S. Is it U of S he's at?
Was he there? I don't know. I don't know.
All right. Doesn't matter. Moving on.
All right. So we have to jump up one spot to the Calgary Flames, who have just, I don't know what's going on there. Like, they haven't got any wins. They haven't got any losses. They're not tying hockey games.
You know what's crazy? Like, this team kind of played, I don't want to say they dismissed the COVID variant, but there was concerns and they played a game, and that has basically necessitated half of a league-wide shutdown. when I saw, I think the count is up to 30 players and staff members have tested positive for this new variant or COVID-19. I don't even know if it's a new variant. I'm assuming it is. And then you come back, and then all of a sudden Carolina has to cancel their games because Aho maybe kissed somebody in the corner. I don't know. But, like, I don't know. I don't want to call them negligent, but we got to have more foresight than this.
Yeah, it really got carried away with the Flames, right? Like, it started with a couple players, it came up to 10, now they're up to, like 25 or something. I saw or maybe that was the Rams, I'm thinking. But yeah, like Grant said, there's like 30 players, man. So, like, the Flames, I don't know. It's one of those things where I guess COVID's still around, right? But their games have been postponed till the 27th, right? Just to get things under wraps, to kind of let everyone get some negative tests, make sure they're asymptomatic before they kind of return to the ice. But that's also a big part of the schedule, right? Like, when was the last time the Calgary Flames played a hockey game? Earlier this week? Saturday? Right? They lost to the Bruins there. Because they haven't played in a week. You're not going to play for another week. So that's 2 weeks now. You're lost in your schedule. You're now, like, having to throw random games, makeup games in, assuming we play a full schedule. I don't know if they were the deepest team, but I do think that might hurt you later on down the line, right? So, kind of a shame. They were playing well. Would have been nice to kind of see them hopefully make the postseason. Maybe they still do, but I do think that a condensed schedule later on in the year probably doesn't make it easy for you.
Yeah. This is from the Calgary Sun. I'm just going to say this. Rick Bell's a dick. But this is from the Calgary Sun. 30 players, some of which are Omicron.
Great. Awesome. So that's the real reality. But we're seeing that across the league where lots of basketball players are just missing games. The NHL or the NFL, sorry, just postponed games, moved games forward so that guys can kind of get back into the lineups, get healthy. As far as I'm telling, it's just they're testing positive, but they're not showing any symptoms.
And that probably has to do with the league's
increase. Yeah, I think just like testing.
Policy.
Yeah.
Man, you're breaking all this news. NFL teams are canceling games now. Like, what the fuck, man? We're going into the postseason.
Oh, yeah.
It's fantasy week.
We get Cleveland, Vegas on Monday at 5 o'clock. So our 3-hour time. Seattle Rams is now a Tuesday game. So
same with Washington, Philadelphia.
Yeah. Yeah, so as far as Yahoo sent out a thing where those games will still be counted as this part of the schedule, but I don't know. We shall see. So,
you know what? I don't even fucking care about this podcast, Mick. I have to. It's literally playoffs. It's the first week of playoffs. I have to look at my fantasy roster. Who are we talking about next?
Well, we're gonna go talk at the top. I mean, I should tell you that Grant does have Travis Kelce, so his 40-point effort the other night has him projected to win by 37 points.
It was
or something.
36, Mick.
Yeah, and how many points are you projected to win by right now?
I will tell you. My computer ever cooperates. It's actually only 18.
Oh, only 18, only 18. So hopefully Cooper Kupp and Devontae Adams, those unknown wide receivers can help them pull through. So,
you know what, we could do a new mini series on how my team ended up as my team, because my team has been outstanding this season.
Oh, I read through it sometimes, and I'm like, at one point you have something like 4 of the top 8 wide receivers on your squad or something, and I'm like, well, of course you're gonna win.
You know what? All right, this is coming up next week. Stay tuned, everybody. Our year-end rundown.
All right,
we're gonna lift the curtain a little bit.
Maybe we'll be in the playoffs against each other. So could that happen? If you're first, I'm 5th. We'd have to have a lower seed win. Otherwise, we're playing each other next week. All right, see what happens.
Yeah, you and I could be. Blood will be shed. I will call this right now. Blood will be shed.
All right, I'm really hoping that 6th seed steps up and you can maybe take him out. We'll be in the final. So we get to jump up, though. Headlines, because we're really on a linear path today to the Toronto Maple Leafs, who are still just kind of kicking butt, taking names. They're first in the league. Oh, no, they're second in the league. 42 points. Capitals have 43, just one ahead of them. Leafs being Leafs,
Leafs being Leafs is right. I don't want to say they're unstoppable, but it feels like every time I look at the metric, that's the first thought that comes to my head. I'm like, this team is unstoppable.
I mean, they're offensively, all the guys are kind of clicking. They seem to like playing there. Defensively, they have depth, skill, right? Something you haven't been able to talk about in the past, kind of one of those weaknesses. Goaltending. They're getting outstanding results from their goaltending, which I really thought was going to be one of the weaknesses of this team, but those guys are stepping up. And if they continue to play well and they get hot at the right time, the sky's the limit. That's kind of where we have to leave it at that, right?
Yeah. Hey, that's probably where we should leave it. We'll see if there's any kind of cooling off period. I don't think that there's going to be a material effect on their metrics following like the announcement of like lesser attendance, because this team is great everywhere they go. So if anything, maybe the fans that they do get will actually sit in their seats, and it will look like, because like, okay, this is a good point actually. Now that I think about it, half the stadium's empty while people are getting sushi and like $80 glasses of wine for like half the periods. What is this going to look from a broadcast perspective? Because
you saw it last year in the Scotia North division. So
like the half population that they're keeping better be the population that actually enjoys watching hockey, and not those like flaccid dicks who just like eating sushi and saying they went to the game.
Well, I mean, if they want real fans in the arena, all they have to do is go on the road and go to Edmonton, and then you'll see a plethora of Leafs fans. And when Austin Matthews scores, the stadium erupts in one of the loudest celebrations they've heard all season. So,
oh my God, fuck you, Toronto, is basically what we're saying.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So half attendance, sushi, and their Stella Artois. Nothing says hockey like a Stella Artois.
I'm going to defend Stella Artois. How dare you? How dare you, Mick?
Dare I? How dare I? Yeah, so that's kind of it. That's all I got. Fantasy. What's going on in my dirty fantasy? Oops. Those headlines. Hopefully that catches you up. There was some big news stories. See, I wasn't lying. We actually took time. Normally that segment is 20 minutes, 10 minutes. It's 30 today. Boom. Boom, baby. On to my dirty fantasy. Let's see if we can make you some money. We were good for a while, and then we just stopped being good. And I don't know what happened. And
I didn't send you the meme, Mick, or the GIF of the sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. I'm an asshole.
I'm an asshole.
You're right. We've been sometimes maybe shit a lot more than sometimes maybe good recently, but that's because we spent some time being good earlier. Mm-hmm. Last week was not good for me. How did you do?
Terrible. I was 45th out of 51st.
I was 1,104th out of 1,190th. Ooh. So, yeah, equally shit.
Yeah, I got 76.8 points. Connor McDavid got me 6 points. Evgeny Kuznetsov, not bad, 16. Pujarvi, 9 points. Meh. Bunting, I think of all the scoring that happened in Toronto there, Bunting was probably the low man on the totem pole, so that's too bad. My Noah Hannafin, Tyson Barrie didn't play off. My Andrew Mangiapone, 8 points. Anthony Bilbillier with a big goose egg, but I did get a win with my goalie, with Frederick Anderson, 25 points, so he was the high man. What was a good entry? So I could have won $10 if I would have had Austin Matthews, Ryan O'Reilly, William Nylander, Ivan Baptiste, Riley, Perenko, Cam Fowler. I think I got talked out of Cam Fowler. That's too bad. Erik Karlsson at 23.2 points. What's wrong with you? And Charlie Lindrell. Something I don't know. Charlie L. We'll call him Charlie L. Chuck L.
I don't know why I can't see my roster from last week. I thought I was looking at the right thing. Was it the 11th? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the 11th. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to say this. I fucked you with Beauvillier because minutes after we recorded our podcast, and I didn't even see this until it was mid-game, Anthony Beauvillier was scratched. Barry Trotz said, fuck this guy, he's not performing. I'm going to send a message by putting him in the press box. So that is why Anthony Beauvillier put up a goose egg. I did maybe a little better. I was looking at the wrong roster. I told you I was drunk. This doesn't matter. None of this matters. But anyways, no. 858th out of 1,190th.
All right.
led astray by Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. It felt a little forced last week. It did.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's Saturday. They're going to have a good game. They collected just over 10 points combined. Lawson Krause, Rasmus Anderson, both outstanding. 20 points respectively. 19.7 for Anderson. Kapanen was shit. Ferraro was shit. Austin Matthews had 29. Bovillia with the goose egg. And Jake Allen did nothing versus the St. Louis Blues. All things considered, 98.3 points. But lessons learned, hard lessons learned that we can apply to our fantasy rosters this week.
Yes. Yes, indeed. So you know what? I'm going to start off. I've got my page up. I'm going back to the well. I basically dumpster dove because I want me a Connor McDavid and a Leon Draisaitl.
Damn it. We're so fun. But anyways, go ahead.
There's nothing. Like, there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 games to choose from. So it's kind of like, I'm like, do you want the Leafs or do you want the Oilers? I feel like the Seattle Kraken are terrible. So, I mean, that's what I'm going off of. I do have to make one change here because as I'm looking, I will change that. Yep. Okay, got it. So Leon Draisaitl at $9,500. Vincent Trocheck plays for Carolina against the Kings tonight. Plays on the first line center. $5,300. It doesn't sound terrible. Ottawa on the road against Philadelphia at $4,800. Your boy Tim Strutzel, little German boy himself. Guten Tag game is what he's going to have. I like Tyler Bertuzzi plays on the first line against the Devils tonight at $5,300. So, like, I actually don't hate those 3 picks, right? I have one utility spot, which is kind of useless to me. Tyson Barrie against Seattle. I might actually drop him, to be perfectly honest, as we're talking here. Oliver Ekman-Larsson at $4,100. I think maybe some points might be scored in that Toronto-Vancouver game tonight. Ekman-Larsson maybe chips in with an assist. And then I like Detroit's goalie. So I had Alex Nedeljkovic. Grant's favorite game, me trying to pronounce games. Apparently he's out, so I have to find Thomas Greiss. And I really hope that allows. Yeah, $7,000, Thomas Greiss. You are my goalie. But like I said, I don't like this Tyson Barrie pick. Oh, and sorry, Connor McDavid, $10,000 in my utility spot. And Alex Steves, $3,300.
Oh, man. Digging deep on that one.
I'm going to change my defenseman, as Grant tells you his lineup. And then I'm going to maybe upgrade Alex Steves to somebody. So I think that's where I'm at.
Well, best of luck to you. I do like some of your picks. I hate that we're both on Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. The position we find ourselves in, there's one thing that jumped out to me about this game. You know what? We're going to save that for another time. I also have Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, and very quickly, a big chunk of your salary bank gets eaten up. So, as Mick alluded to, we're going to have to go dumpster diving. He didn't allude to it. He said it explicitly. We're going to go dumpster diving. I'm going to start in net. John Gillies has played for, I think he got his first start. Maybe he's played 2 games for the Devils. I think he won his first one. They get Detroit. I typically love Detroit, especially at home on a Saturday night. But this is going to be a low-scoring affair that I could see the Devils coming out of on top. Devils don't travel super well, but Detroit's also kind of been below average recently. So I'm taking John Gillies, basically most affordable goaltender. And by that I mean the cheapest salary on the slate. We'll move back up to the wing. Pierre Engvall is playing in Vancouver tonight, and we have seen Toronto do what they do night in and night out. I think that Vancouver will have an answer for their top line, and that is, I suspect that they will try to do the best to neutralize it, and they've been effective at that recently, so maybe more of the same. But Pierre Engvall is a guy who 6 of his 10 points have come over the last 10 games. So I'm high on Engvall at 4,100. He scored last week. I think it was last week. Yeah, he scored last week. I know that I said I wasn't going to do this, but I did load up on a couple Senators. That is Connor Brown, $5,100, and Josh Norris, $7,100. I can't believe that I spent $7,100 on Josh Norris, but he's in my utility spot. Connor Brown's on the wing. My other utility spot is filled by Jonathan Taves. Dallas, Holtby's been great, and you can see the Stars are fully invested in this guy. because they basically moved on from Anton Khudobin by putting him on waivers earlier in the week. Holtby's above expected value, so I'm expecting some fallback from him. Jonathan Taves and the Hawks are a little below expected value, so that could come kind of crashing together today. I've also paired him with Connor Murphy, who's defenseman in Chicago, who I don't think he gets credit he deserves. Anyways, $3,800, he'll get some points. The other defenseman, I guess my last player, I would love to hear Mick try and pronounce this one. Brady Skjei, Skjei. Who was it? Was it Tyler the Creator? No, Chance the Rapper. Chance the Rapper. If you haven't seen the Saturday Night Live skit with him trying to pronounce Brady Skjei's number or name, it's kind of funny.
Pretty funny. Right.
Anyways, 3,700. I like Brady Skjei. He's not going to do a whole bunch, but he'll do enough to hopefully win me some money.
Nice. So for myself, I did change out of Tyson Barrie. I think I saved $200. Went to Jakub Slavin instead. Plays on the top line, going against the Kings. I like that, which saves me a little bit of money. I had a play. I saw somebody at $3,900, and I went to make a change, and I went to upgrade. I have no idea. I'm just randomly going to pick Dylan Strome. I like Dylan Strome over Alex Steves. I think that's some better value there. $3,900 against the Stars tonight. Maybe the Stars will align, and he'll do something. So
I fucking love good wordplay.
Yeah.
Good work. Nice work.
Yeah, so I like that. No, it's good. Maybe Vincent Trocheck right now. I'll be honest with you. Don't love that play at my second center line. Carolina against the Kings, though, you think something would happen? So let's go Carolina.
Go Carolina.
Sweet. Yeah, no, like it, good work. And we're working on a limited roster. I've shown a couple times on the podcast. I know we haven't talked about it. Oops, I just deleted it. But there are definitely some postponements. There's 4 games postponed tonight, so it's supposed to be a meteor slab for us to kind of sink our teeth into. But Panther Wild, Bruins Canadians, Lightning Avalanche, Flames Blue Jackets, a lot of firepower is missing, right? So yeah.
Noticeable amount of firepower.
Noticeable amount of firepower. So there you go. But that's hopefully it points you in some direction. And again, talking it through seems to make a difference. Really, we'll see if an over happens in that Seattle Oilers game.
Well, that is a perfect segue into, as we conclude my dirty fantasy, into Bettor Advice. Mick, you got some. If you want to just pull your nuts out and rub them across the your camera over last week's performance, you go ahead and do that.
The only reason that I am here today, folks, I should have talked about this earlier, is I could have went. I had a table at a local card show. I was going to go sell some cards. I was doing some organizing this week, and then I thought about it. I said, no, I cannot abandon this podcast at this time when I have a plus 1,000 parlay that I put together. That I brought myself out of the recesses. I was down. I was out. I think I was -5 something on the year. Abysmal. Awful advice. Nothing. And then I came off the slide in style. What did I hit? It was a 4-teamer. Was there anything? I think I had a couple overtimes that saved my butt, but I had the Toronto Maple Leafs, who handily dealt with the Blackhawks. If you don't look at their fourth quarter or third period comeback. Capitals won in overtime. Columbus Blue Jackets won their game in overtime. And the Boston Bruins, they're big, they're bad, they're the Bruins. They came into Calgary. They laid the smackdown on the COVID Flames. $50 got me $550. So, zang.
Yeah, back into it. Hell of a parlay. I was worried for you because I said Seattle was the one game I was you know what, that's the one I'm not sure of. And then Columbus, I think it was a 4-1 lead. Seattle came back, forced overtime. Columbus pulled it out and saved your parlay in overtime. Hell of a way to get back into our year-long competition where we take 100 hypothetical dollars every week and try and turn it into real money. And this isn't just even hypothetical anymore. I think, at least for myself, most money is wagered on these picks on every day. And I think Mick is probably along the same vein, at least playing some of his same parlays or some of his picks. So I mean, I'm
going to put that caveat there where I'm bragging and there's a little bit of a little asterisk. If you look at the fine print, I do believe that puts me up $30 on the year. So
You know what? That's all right. It's better than being down.
Oh, yeah.
I myself was less successful. My brain's not even working this morning. I don't think I. How many picks did I even have? Anyways,
You had 4. I had 3, you had 4, and we kind of like put them in between each other.
I think I hit an over.
Okay.
The over. Philadelphia, Arizona. I hit that over. I don't know if I was successful in the other ones.
All right. Well, at some point, maybe in Drunkcast, we'll like get an actual. We'll do the work and we'll like, have actual numbers for you starting in the new year. How about that?
Oh yeah, there we go. I keep meaning to do this, but I keep not doing it. So
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So, but for today, Grant, how many picks do you have?
I'm feeling a little reckless. I only have 1. How many picks do you have?
I went with 3.
All right, let's hear what you got, Mick.
Okay, well, alluded to earlier, I think there's going to be some fireworks, some sparks. We're going to see a struggling offensively Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl go into Seattle, home of the Kraken. They probably don't have a cool name for their arena yet, or a fan base. And they're going to show them why they're the 2 greatest hockey players in the world. I like over 6 goals and minus 120. I'm going to put $35 on that play there. Another quick, easy one. I like the Road Dog. The Road Dog, Ottawa Senators. Brady Tkachuk. Tim Streutzel. They are going to, at even money, beat the struggling Flyers on the road on Sportsnet 360, Sportsnet 1, City, and NBC SP tonight. Another $30 there.
All right.
I don't know. I was expecting more accolades with that one. So, Grant, what's your one play?
Well, I kind of fucking chopped my ass that we're doing this again, Mick. But I have a play on the Edmonton Oilers and Ottawa Senators. I parlayed them, something I rarely do. I have parlayed the Edmonton Oilers at minus 122. The price is coming down on the Oilers. This is fucked. This is the most skewed line on the betting board. I don't pride myself in fucking being the sharpest guy, but this is way out of line. Edmonton has put up 12 or more high danger chances in 5 of their last 6 games. They've posted an expected goals for percentage above 50% in 4 of 5. I told you last week that they needed to get their metrics working in their favor. Their metrics are working in their favor. Now, the universe sometimes balances itself out. I don't know. Maybe there's some fucking math nerd who can explain this better. It's now time for outcomes to start match, or basically actual output to catch up with expected values. Minus 122 is a gift. I don't know why it's. Well, I think it's this low because Edmonton lost to Seattle in this exact same spot maybe 10 days ago.
Okay.
Was it about 10 days ago? Seattle gets some credit for home ice, but Seattle has been outplayed in like 14 straight games or 13 of the past 14. This line does not make sense. Edmonton, minus 122. Everybody. Like, bet your children's mortgage or university funds on it. I love the Ottawa Senators tonight. We've seen how much momentum they can get going offensively, and the Philadelphia Flyers are a defensively bankrupt team. Carter Hart can be okay, but he's not consistently a difference maker, and that's why Philadelphia is one of the worst teams in the league. So, Ottawa plus 112, Edmonton minus 122, all $100 on a 2-leg parlay plus 285. 285.77.
Do I have any? Am I touching any of that in my final? I like to go unicorn hunting, looking for things that aren't going to happen very often. I don't think I did that. I think I just threw together a favorites parlay, and I decided to save that for last. Sure. So if I take, I changed it up a little bit. I like the Oilers straight up, but I also like the Carolina Hurricanes playing the lowly Los Angeles Kings. I believe the Kings played last night and won. So second night of back-to-back, I think we're going to see just a little bit of you're going up against one of the best teams in hockey. Come on, Kings. You're not winning 2 in a row. So those seem even. And then this one might hurt. I think this is probably like my riskiest play. Again, put my heart out there. I don't think the Bruce Boudreau Canucks are going to win their 7th game. 6 is enough. The Maple Leafs are coming to town. They had a game off because they didn't have to play in Calgary because of COVID. So they're going to come into town thirsty, hungry for a win. I like the Canes, the Oilers, and the Leafs all parlayed together at plus 450. I'm going to put $35 on that bad boy. So, boom.
Those of you who have been sticking around for a while will know that I have this kind of irrational thought in my head that things reset at 6. I don't know why. I know that it's rational. I'm not going to defend this point on the internet, but the Canucks have won 6 in a row. We will see if this carries weight on tonight's slate. And Mick comes out victorious on his 3-team parlay. Well, I guess, yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I just basically picked all the favorites off the board, so I really did nothing too special. So
don't discount what you do.
Don't discount picking all the favorites again and again and again and again and again until you hit, and then you're like, I did it, guys.
The one thing that worries me about your 3-game parlay is just the Kings. I like Toronto, but I think they're without Aho, they're without somebody else, they're without... Anyways, we'll see what happens. Time will tell, Mick. But I wish you nothing but the best.
Oh, they didn't play last night. They played on Thursday. Sorry, they won. They beat the Panthers 4-1 on Thursday, not last night. So,
all right.
So I was looking at that as one of those like betting opportunities where it was like Panthers over Kings, and it was like a Senators losing to the Lightning parlay, and I was like, oh, that I could put a lot of money on that, and I didn't. And then I looked, and I was like, stupid Kings. So, what are the odds of the Kings screwing me over again? Probably pretty good. Probably.
Well, when you ask the universe to do it to you, you know what?
That's it. So limited slate because of COVID. We showed up, and you saw what Grant did. I saw it too. So good job. That's it. So that kind of wraps up our show. What we got for you. We've got 2 more segments. We're gonna get Grant some hockey cards. Like I said, there was a card show I could have went to. I didn't. But we're gonna see if we can get Grant some cards. So we'll see how he does today, and we'll kind of see what he gets to open.
All right, that sounds like a fair. I kind of like this. Like the cards that we open is contingent on how well do I actually do.
Yeah, so I think we got kind of 3 plays. I might open a pack myself. See where we get to. All right, so I pulled up the top scorers from the 2021 season. Technically, it was just the 21 season because I actually didn't play any games in 2020 last year. It was just kind of those expanded. I want you to tell me the top 5 scorers that were not from the Scotian North Division. So we'd have to go, what is that? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So up to 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So essentially you have to give me the top 10 scorers from last year, but you can't include Connor McDavid at 1, Leon Draisaitl at 2, Austin Matthews at 5, Mark Scheifele at 9, and I thought there was another one that I counted. And sorry, Mitch Marner at 4.
Man, this is a fucking shitty game to play, man. All we talk about is Canada hockey. You're like, no, not today. Now you tell me what else happened.
Pretty much, I'm asking you. You were here. You were watching. I feel like you were probably very involved. If you were like me, you only watched the Scotia North, though. So can you get, with 3 strikes, how many could you get of that ilk?
This isn't going to end well. Oh, God. Who was a high-scoring team last year? You know, the first 2 that come to mind are Edmonton and Toronto, so you kind of robbed me of that. Who else? Who else was good last year?
Can you figure out who's number 3? So we're looking at number 3 with 69 points. Nice. Can you get that? Or you're basically looking at 6, 7, 8, and 10.
You know who I know did have a good year last year was Patrick Kane. Is Patrick Kane on the list?
At number 7 with 66 points, actually tied with Austin Matthews and another player yet to be named on this show. Patrick Kane, at 32 years young, did make this list. So, bing, 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 bing.
Oh, man. I got one. That's better than I was expecting. Ah, man. Another name that came to mind, and I don't, like, this isn't a high-scoring team, but I know that he's always involved in scoring. Is David Pastrnak on the list?
David Pastrnak, I don't see him up here. I do believe he made the list. So, that is your first X on the day.
Oh, man. Yeah, well, that's what I was expecting. Oh, man. Who finished?
At 48 points, at 35, David Pastrnak is right there.
All right.
Pasta. Hey, pasta.
Oh, you know, Sidney Crosby, is he on the list?
At number 10 with 62 points, Sidney Crosby, at 32 years young, made the list. Ding, ding, ding. Grant's got 2 with 1 X. He only needs 3 more. Can he get there?
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this without a shred of confidence in my vote. That's not true. I always have confidence. Did Alex Ovechkin also make the list?
Ooh, Alex Ovechkin, I do not see his name on here, so we'd have to probably scroll down a little bit. Ovechkin, you must have had a down year. What the heck? Ovechkin? Yeah, no, Ovechkin. I'm not seeing the name. Viewers, if you're at home listening, or podcasters, if you're listening and you're like, hey, I can't see this. This is a stupid game. No. What happened to Ovechkin last year? Nothing. Huh. Did not make the top 50.
Really? Huh, that's surprising. Was he not healthy last year? Anyways, doesn't matter. I've got 2 X's now and 3 names to guess. This is kind of what I was expecting. 2 more names than I thought I would probably get. Oh, man. It sounds stupid. I think there's a Minnesota Wild. Oh. Did Matt Zuccarello make the list?
Hold on. 42. Oh, yeah. Ovechkin had 42, so he was just under the cutoff. Matt Zuccarello is Grant's final. I do not see a Matt Zuccarello on this list either.
Damn it.
That is your 3rd strike. That means you only had 2 out of 5. I don't know if that's good enough to, get you anything special here.
You know what? I don't think I earned anything. I want to just see. That was a bad showing. I knew my brain wasn't working this morning.
Yeah.
No fault of my own, obviously.
Sidney Crosby was a hell of a pick. Do you want me to just roll through? So if we went up to 8th at 65 points, you could have got Nathan McKinnon. Nathan Hot Dog McKinnon himself. His partner in crime with 66 points, Mikko Rantanen, was number 6th. And then what you were missing is Brad Marchand at number 3. Yeah. So, not terrible. Could have went with the Avs. Would have got you 2. And you were right. You were so close on that Boston ones. You just went with the wrong guy. Apparently, Brad Marchand was the correct answer. So,
you know what? I was in my brain. I was like, I'm gonna guess all 3 of the top players because that would only be 2 strikes, and I was confident one of them that was there. But I didn't do it. I abandoned it.
Yeah. If you would have ran through that, you could have had the Avs. I think that's the game, right? I think you're close. Like Sidney Crosby, hell of a showing that he picked that one out of the hat too there. So, not terrible. What do you get, though?
I don't think I get anything, Mick. I would just want to... I'm going to say I was defeated in this round. I want to see... But that doesn't mean that you don't get to open cards. You still get to open cards as the quiz master. Maybe you even get to open my pack. I don't know how saucy you're feeling, but...
Yeah, I'm just looking. So I got this big box of these upper deck cards with some Tim Hortons cards. So you ever hit 5 for 5? We got some Tim Hortons cards. We got 5 packs or 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more packs of these upper deck ones. So I say we burn one of these bad boys today, and maybe you just look at what you lost. Some of these feel kind of thick. This one's definitely bigger than that. Oh, that one maybe there too. Yeah, I'm going to start with this first one. So we're going to see what Grant basically lost out on. And I don't know if we're feeling saucy. I have another pack of football cards that I meant to open last week, and I'm just kind of been putting it off because I kind of wanted to do it on the show. I might open some football cards today too.
This is exciting stuff.
Says it very enthusiastically. This is exciting stuff.
So matter of factly.
So matter. I bought a 1,000 card organizer, thinking I can't have that many cards. A little plastic case. No, I still have stacks of cards all over my basement. I need to buy another one. Really unfortunate. So I got a kids reporter card, which is always really exciting. Oh, I got my boy DK Metcalf. He's got funny hair. I like that. T. Higgins, Tyreek Hill, Aaron Jones. These are a lot of weird base cards, and they're not normally at the front, so I wonder if this is a weird pack. DJ Moore, Derrick Henry, Brandon Cooks, JJ Watt. Oh, I haven't seen a JJ Watt before. I got a Mike Evans parallel. I guess I could show those cards. Woo, they got that little bit of green. I don't know if it makes them worth more money, but I like to print it does. DeAndre Hopkins. Joseph Owa, rookie card. Who's this? Introductions. Rashard Bateman. That's not really worth anything. Ooh, a By Storm Trevor Lawrence card.
Oh, man. There's some good pulls in there.
It's not bad. And then I got another one of those Joseph Osai. So that first one must have been a parallel. Yep. Double of that. Tutu Atwell. Elijah Vera Tucker, Jets defensive player. Cora Powell, another rookie. Oh, and a Javonte Williams. So there you go. So I got a Trevor Lawrence. Paid what? $11 for the cards. Probably worth like $5. There, I lost money. Good job, me.
Well, yeah. Well, is it an Arizona Cardinals JJ Watt card?
It is. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe in like the postseason could be worth something. I don't know. We'll see. Go from there. And now let's get back to hockey. So the question at hand: what is Grant missing out here? Mm-hmm. Oh, I think I see like that nice baby blue of a Young Guns card. So it's pretty exciting.
Damn it!
Yeah, we'll see what happens. So we got everyone's favorite Mark Stahl, the best of the Stahl brothers. Oh, a Jack Eichel All-Star. In a Sabres jersey. You're not going to see those again for a while. Ben Hutton with the Ducks. We got a Cam Johnson, Blue Jackets Young Gun goalie. It really wasn't that exciting. Scott Mayfield, Max Domi, a Jake Allen, and a Nico Hischier. Wow.
You know what? Part of me is glad I missed out on those. I think I did okay.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Like, I have them. I don't really want them, though. So.
Oh, well, you know what? Next week, for our drunk... You know what? No, I was going to say I'll be clear of mind, but no, if we're doing a drunk cast, I will not be clear of mind. But I'm excited to play this game again.
Oh, and, like, I do... Should I show you maybe what you might win? Like, I might have to buy some more?
Let's see.
All right. I mean, like, maybe not just like, but maybe we just get drunk and like open cards and talk about shit. But like, I don't know. Like, does that do anything for you? I don't know. Like,
oh man.
I'm not gonna show you that quickly. Just give you a taste of what you got. So.
You're like the strippers of podcast hosts.
Oh, just show you a little bit.
Damn you! God damn you, Mick! How I'm looking forward to it.
Grant's mind train now is like, oh, I'm derailed.
I'm thinking about cards and I'm thinking about strippers. So, yeah, brain's not in a good place.
All right. I should find us a really stupid, like, trivia game. We'll just get drunk and see, like, how terribly can we do with this, so.
You know what? I'm actually not terrible with general trivia.
All right.
Depending how that... Well... You know what? You could put me... I hope you dig one out of the 70s where there's a whole bunch of, like, you know, not good... Nah. Anyways, yeah. Put me to the test. Make me eat my words. You're good at that.
All right.
But we wouldn't be a Canada Puck podcast without our week... No, I did that wrong again. Without our Babe of the Week. I was going to say Weekly Babe. No, it's Babe of the Week. I'm going to give you a second to collect yourself so that you can look at this with me because, you know, this lady's all right. 2 million people can't be wrong, Mick. And I'm going to mispronounce this, and I'm not sure how I'm supposed to pronounce it. But Kima Russo, I believe, and that is nope, that's not a K. That's a Q. Qimmah Russo, Russo. Health and beauty. I am first form. I am first form. Maybe that's what it is. But Kima Russo just brings everything to the table. And we are better people for having her in our lives.
If you're not looking at this part of the show, you're missing out on... She's wearing her hair as a shirt in one of her pictures. That's all right.
Oh, God, it is all right. Kima Russo, you are our babe of the week.
Yes. That's gonna get me. That's gonna get me through this afternoon. Thank you. That's nice. As always, very enjoyable. But that's it. That was a longer show. Normally we're like just under an hour, just over an hour today. And we did a lot of time actually talking about hockey. So, good job, us.
Yeah, you know what? I think what I'm most excited about is our year-end wrap-up. Feels like a good thing to do. Right time to do it. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, dive back, look kind of back. It's kind of the year that was just a little bit more, you know, dive into it, talk about kind of the cool stuff we saw, not so cool stuff, potentially, get drunk. And there's a box of baseball cards that falls into our laps. Good times.
It's going to be all right.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, be all right. Yeah, so with that, I think that's kind of all as I sort through my cards. I've clearly just, I'm distracted. Like, off my
Fuck you,
own world.
podcast.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I think with that, kind of wraps it up. So that's kind of officially year end. We'll come back again, like I said, officially next year. But watch us get drunk on the internet. Are we allowed to get drunk on YouTube?
Maybe.
Huh.
Maybe. You know what? Still Artois should sponsor us. Feels like a good, the right question to ask.
If someone wants to sponsor us to get drunk on a video, that sounds delightful. So
this is just a taste, guys. Just a taste.
This is just a taste. So nice. So with that, yeah, wraps up the show. See you guys in a couple weeks, and then definitely get back to it in the new year.
Yeah, that's right. Mick, the pleasure as always. Party on, Mick. We will see everybody next week.
Party on, Grant.